I think what'll happen is just like I'll let Simon say a bit about Tatsu, and then I'll give a proper introduction for him after.
I think my internet just decided to have a heart attack.
Did it get death noted?
I can still hear you.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Tatsu is a kobold, a white-furred kobold, showing signs of albinism with red markings and horns. That's what I have for a description written down from when I initially crossed paths with this character.
So you're looking at about a 3-foot tall kobold creature. They have white fur instead of scales. They have red horns. They have these red tattoos that cascade down their arms and mostly on their shoulder area. Red-tipped ears, bright blue eyes, like a soft blue, and they're wearing what looks like a Miko's outfit, a Shrine Maiden's outfit. Also wrapped with black prayer beads around their neck and their right wrist. And they usually carry a wooden sword with them, a wooden-shaped katana known as a bokken, which is a martial training sword, mainly used for kendo. And I'd say this version of Tatsu is a little different. He looks a little taller, his horns look like about an inch or two longer, and he's carrying a satchel with him. His voice is also deepened a little bit, maybe about 1 octave. And he says, "Greetings everyone, my name is Tatsu. I am a student and disciple of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose. I am very far away from home currently, but I brought myself here with the one known as Cunning Talon, because we're trying to stop this nefarious Sebastian from not just ruining one timeline, but many. And we tracked him down to here over the course of 10 years. I have not seen my companion here named Simon in over 10 years during that time. For all I was worried, I thought he could have been dead. And I don't even want to imagine what could have happened to Dorogate and Storm Eater."
Currently in the game, what's up?
If I may, I don't think it's been 10 years. Simon's been here maybe a couple months.
I do not believe we
I saw him
do.
fall from the sky. It was kind of embarrassing, actually.
Tatsu kind of does like the shaking hands gesture and just says,
Alright.
"Give or take, I don't know much
no,
about
but thank you.
space-time dimension traveling. I left that all to Talon to figure out.
Alright, drive safe.
It felt like 10 years.
Yeah,
Bye.
Go ahead.
I think we're all owed some explanations. Cassandra says, "Who is Cunning Talon?"
Tatsu looks at Simon for affirmation, like, do you want to say it or should I say it?
Simon is digging through a pouch and producing a long smoking pipe, and he's like snapping his fingers to prestidigitate and light it, and is like,
Dad's going for a smoke, boys. We'll never see him again.
I'm gonna do a gag real quick. This is just, I'm just doing this for the sake of the gag, but Tatsu then quickly runs over to Azami, and then he pulls something out of his satchel and says, "By the way, Talon wanted me to give this to you." And you see a small picture of a dwarf holding a pizza box. I think you might know who that is.
What is this? I don't even know. What is it? A turtle? What is this?
Oh my goodness.
Don't ask me. Talon said he wanted me to deliver this to you. I don't know why.
Who
Anyway,
is-
here you go.
Who is Talon?
Simon just gets a
Well,
look of,
explain
oh,
in a
for
second.
fuck's sake, on his face at that, just like, oh, fuck.
Who is
yeah.
Talon? Who is this? Is this Talon?
So Talon is like space traveling time bird guy. He's using kobold speak because he's getting anxious. It's space traveling time bird guy. I don't know. He said he wanted me to give you pizza. Here you go. Here's pizza. And
Pizza? What? Who ordered pizza?
What is pizza?
it's some triangle food that has red sauce and these yellow things on it. I don't know. It tastes good.
Oh my goodness.
Despite how he tries to poise himself professionally, Tatsu is still a kobold at heart, which means sometimes the kobold speak comes out.
I definitely don't know what pizza is.
You know what, Nitro? Why don't you tell shred what Azami sees on this pizza box in detail, if you want. Besides what I said. Because
Not
you
sure
know
what's
what
on the
Dorgan
pizza.
looks more like than I do. I was just trying to give a basic description.
Well, the two characters aren't related, so that's gonna
But
be very difficult.
it's a fourth wall joke.
It's why she's freaking out. She's like, I don't know who these people are.
I don't know. Tatsu's just as confused. I was just told to give this to you. I don't know. This feels weird.
It
I mean,
has I was gonna call it freaking. It has ingredients on it that you would find in a I don't know, a fucking Japanese restaurant. I don't know.
Can we just
One
say
second.
that there was a Pizza Hut in Faerun, and I was just told to deliver this to another dimension for no reason?
Straight from Fantasy Italy.
Yes. If Zami opens the box, there is actual pizza in there, by the way. It is not made up.
She's even more confused.
I don't know, just eat it.
No!
It's not poisoned. Look,
How do
I'll
I
prove
know
it.
this?
He grabs a slice and he bites into it and eats it. See, not poisoned. It's moist.
Simon is taking full advantage of this entire distraction and getting fucking high.
Oh,
Andrea walks back over towards Simon, and she says, "I'm gonna ask again. Who is Cunning Talon?"
Bird person. Black feathered.
Okay. I'll just explain. Tatsu kind of runs back. Cunning Talon is a companion that Simon and I used to travel with. We all happened to meet each other one time when we got stuck in the plane of... Tatsu remembers the name, but I don't. Fuck.
The domain's dread.
The Domain of Dread, thank you, Simon. We were all kind of lost wandering the Domain of Dread, and we're trying to find our ways back home. We investigated this haunted mansion, and eventually we came across these people who were like the time police or something, and they were trying to do something with Talon, and then we all kind of got split apart and thrown into other dimensions, and it took me a while. It took Talon and I a while to try and figure out what was happening or who was causing it, and that eventually led me to here.
Tatsu, I should forewarn you, it has been 2 months for me, thereabout.
It's felt like 10 years for us. I don't know how long it's been. You expect a kobold to be able to count time?
Yes,
That's why I
do.
keep a journal.
I don't have a journal.
We should rectify that.
While they are talking, Asami is going to try to sneak the chime into Simon's hand.
Okay,
'Cause she does
DM
not-
question.
Does not
DM
want
question. Oh, sorry. Finish the sentence.
it. I finished it.
Okay. DM question. Does Tatsu know if Cunning Talon is present on this plane and/or dimension, or is he separated?
No. For Tatsu, when you arrived on this planet, you literally found yourself inside of the royal palace, which is how you met Zenkai, and you were essentially roped into the plans between him and Satoshi and the party. So you don't know where or if Talon is even on Arcadia.
The last thing I remember is I somehow found myself transported back to my home, the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, and there I talked with some of the monks there and the sages, and I told them what I went through. And I told them about how I felt a strong pull towards the spirit realm, and I asked him if I could stay a while to train on it, so I did. And then after I told them I want to go and try to find my friends to see what happened to them, or companions. And so it took about a year for them to gather all the reagents, but they made a portal and I jumped through it. And when I landed on the other side, I was inside of this big palace, and that's where I met Satoshi, the big bird, Tengu, and that's where I met Zenkai, the big dragon guy. And then I asked him, where am I? And they were talking about what was going on with this nefarious humanoid creature they called Sebastian. And when they explained that they noticed he was trying to hunt a bat creature named Simon, I recognized the name. I didn't know if it was really Simon or not, and I got worried, so I decided to follow them slowly from behind. They told me that they didn't want to throw me into danger, so they were going to send Satoshi to scout the group first, and if it looked like things were okay, they would slowly introduce me later. But then Sebastian attacked and things got bad, and I was worried, so I just came in and did stupid human. I kick his butt. Yeah. You can tell Tatsu looks kind of frazzled the more he speaks about it. It's a lot.
Simon will lift a hand and then go, "Show of hands, who is having trouble believing this?"
Masami's gonna raise her
Sorry.
hand.
Sends his hand straight up. Like he looks like a deer caught in the headlights, trying to process all of
Do
this.
I need to roll anything for sneaking the
You would have to
back
give me.
hand?
You would have to give me a sleight of hand check. If Simon is actively paying attention to anybody that gets close to him, then Simon will be making a perception check to counter it.
He is always, and he is surrounded by bodyguards for this specific purpose.
I don't even think that beats your passive.
It does not.
Hey!
Well, it's gonna meet your
Meets it, beats
passive
it.
as well.
Yeah.
See here, your passive is much higher. So Simon, you catch Sami trying to sneak something into your pockets.
I will
No,
step
it's in his
back.
hand. She's trying to sneak it straight into his hand.
I will
Okay,
step
into your
back.
hand.
I'm like, "Are you trying to steal my pipe? What are you doing?"
I care less about your pipe. I'm trying to hold your hand, doofus. Here. She's gonna try to hand him the chime.
Seeing that it is the chime, he will take it.
She
I'm
just
sure
had
we
to
all
be-
have a bunch of questions. Cassandra says, "Let's pitch camp and catch our breath and and relax a bit before we venture any further."
I know
Oh,
you're not
there's one
lying,
more-
Tatsu. It's some people need a little bit of time to come to terms with information that they were not well equipped to handle. So we'll just let them think about it over supper, maybe throughout the night, and then in the morning, perhaps, we can answer more questions. I
Tatsu
would like
nods.
to talk
Oh.
to you as well, Tatsu.
Tatsu nods. One more thing I should mention. Because the monks were worried about me getting lost in another dimension again, they gave me a special object that I can use or triggers under very specific conditions. They called it a recall stone. But if they're worried that I might end up dying while stuck in another dimension or something, it might pull me back to that place. But I don't know. I'm just going to try to stay here as long as I can to figure out what's going on. But at least between you and the dwarf and the dragonborn and the Arakakara, I at least found one of you. That means something, right?
Certainly.
And when they call for the show of hands to ask if other people believe this, Hiroshi's probably the only one who doesn't raise his hand. That, you know, he believes what is being said because, you know, part of his training, he's seen some strange things. And also, you know, considering that the gods themselves come from other planes, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for others to travel between the planes. So it's like, you know, he actually seems to be the only one who seems to believe the story just outright because he's heard of stranger things in his travels and his training.
So my question for the party now is, those of you whom I told I was a planeswalker, you didn't believe me then? Curious.
I still don't believe it.
Yes.
But
All I can say is the campsite RP is for the next 2 months are gonna have a lot of interesting dialogue, especially with you uttering those words. You didn't believe me before, huh? What's up now, bitches?
Guess who's not insane?
Wait. Okay. Asking. Was any mention about the plans? About someone being a planeswalker happened when Vincent was a part of?
I don't think so. I think it was Cassandra, Asami, Hiroshi, maybe Yuto, maybe not.
All right. Okay.
Probably may have like a little bit or touched upon it, like if not like I think probably Planeswalker, or maybe just like didn't say anything about gods or anything. But I think he probably touched upon it maybe lightly when Yuto was like seeing Simon the other evening.
Oh yeah, in the room when he was when he was talking about the person he's looking for, his wife. But Simon initially brought this up the night that Sebastian walked past their camp. And in the morning, Hiroshi sensed the fiendish energy, and Simon was like, well, this is why. I'm a planeswalker, they're a planeswalker, they're a human. Like a naked monkey.
And I think this, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Hiroshi, especially where he sensed the energy, I think he might have somewhat believed then, but was more on the skeptical side than being complete disbelief. Especially with some of the things he had sensed that night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, meanwhile, Vincent is just going, wait, what? Huh? Yeah, he's clearly like, it's clear like this is the first time he's ever even heard of the term planeswalker, and he absolutely has no understanding of it whatsoever.
The only thing we all need to know right now is that blasted human Sebastian is trying to destroy this world, and if he succeeds, he'll go on to other dimensions and destroy those too. I don't think he has any plan on stopping. I don't know who he serves. I don't know what his reason is for things.
I do.
All I know is that... Wait, does Simon say that out loud?
Yeah.
Or is that OOC? Oh. Yeah, what is he trying to do? Sorry, wait.
Hold on, let me rack my brain for the phonetic pronunciation of this thing's name. Don't mind the Google search.
No, that's perfectly fine.
The Google flu.
I love the concept of like a wizard trying to cast Identify, but all they do is just pull up like a little laptop and type in Google.
Yes.
I was gonna say, like Simon the Baptist, with all these archaic devices they have on it, they just randomly pull out this little black rectangle. They just like try to search stuff like, "Hey Siri," or "Hey Google," like what is?
Oh, he wouldn't use any AI shit. He knows better, but he'd be like, puts on the spectacles. Google.com. I don't know if I get very good signal out here, but I'll give it a try.
Most people saying spectacle in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Spectacles. I think that's very fancy instead of saying glasses.
Yeah. Simon will go, I'll get more into it later, but Cunning Talon's forebears, their parents, they killed an individual known as Moloch, a once an archdevil of the Nine Hells. I'm not sure if you have the Nine Hells this far out, but it's a very terrible place. And so they killed Moloch, and the Moloch of another timeline, I think, or Moloch's cult, got together and are trying to resurrect him or something, and also trying to take revenge on the descendants of the people who killed him. I was not at all involved. As a note. But that's how we ended up in the Domains of Dread, and thus there met Tatsu. Do you know what the Domains of Dread are? Show of hands? Nobody?
This time Yuto does not react. He has never once heard of such a place like that.
Right. So reality is like a cake. There's icing on the outside, and you can't see how many layers there are through the icing.
That sounds more like an onion.
Sure, you could use an onion or a sweet roll. The fact is that it has layers, like a lasagna, even. And if you know how, or if you are in the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time, you can go between the different layers. The domains of dread are one such layer. They're not a very nice place. They're... how to phrase this using small words. And he spends a moment smoking his pipe, thinking about it.
Would they be possibly dreadful?
Oh, very much so. Essentially, there is one power per layer of the domains of dread. They are their own cake. And essentially, they continuously play out a story of despair or agony of some kind to the amusement of themselves and others, tormenting those hapless souls who end up there. Sometimes one of those hapless souls gets strong enough to depose one, and then they become the new lord of that specific domain of dread, and the cycle continues. But it's a place of memory and darkness. It's always repeating itself. There's a lot of mostly dead lost powers there, too. It functions essentially like a prison of sorts.
That's not good.
With a name like the Domains of Dread, you were thinking it would be good?
You know, you have a point.
Yeah, so that's where I met Tatsu. The group of us met Tatsu.
There's somebody's TV in the background.
It would be Leo's.
No, I have no TV in the background.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's gamers.
Also,
Apologies. Yeah, I got my tiger's behind me. He's got his phone on. Sorry about that.
Oh no.
Dark, since you're back, question for you.
Denied.
Possible answer. Tell me the question.
What's that?
Possible answer.
Would Hiroshi have met any Tengu in the lands that he comes from?
Tengu are so rare that it's almost a myth that any of them ever exist.
Would he have at least heard of them?
Only in legends.
The reason I ask is because Hiroshi notices, like, you know, with everything that happened, you know, Yuto is looking, like, very confused. Like, he's looking extremely confused as to what happened with Toki and Satoshi. So he kind of moves a little closer, and he's like, there are legends out there that Tengu, like Satoshi, have been known to disguise themselves for long times. Many times in the legends it's to teach someone a lesson, but it's also been said in the legends that there are some kingdoms out there that use them as spies because of their well-rehearsed ability to disguise oneself for a long time.
Right away, his ears stand on end. Well, he's not exactly about to like be defensive or like reacts almost immediately or anything. Well, he's like obviously doesn't like react badly or anything. There is now mixed not only a confusion but also a bit of concern in like his eyes too and everything. Like he furrows his brows a little bit. A spy. I don't get it. So this Satoshi. So this Toki was never really Toki. They were Satoshi and they were a spy. Were they really Zenkai spy? Is he even one of us? Or one of them? Or somebody else? And how did Zenkai even survive whatever the nine hells that we saw, would we... He gulps. Would we even have a chance of something like that? And this person that was veiling himself the whole time, that's magic I haven't even seen before. I mean, not that I've ever seen any magic. Hell, I've never possessed any magic of my own. Given my line of work, why would I need it? The only magic, quote-unquote, was on my blades. But what difference does that make now after everything I've seen? I don't get it. The more we travel, the more questions just seem to rise. I'm sorry, Hiroshi, I just don't know what to believe anymore.
Quite all right, you to know. There are many things in this world that even I have begun to question since I began my travels. But at the same time, the more I question, the more I start to understand. It's all right to question, Yuto, because questioning is what makes us stronger and wiser.
You're not wrong there. He just sort of, even amongst his confusion, like he sort of chuckles for a moment to himself. Of course, the only question that's ever kept me going was, is anyone going to try and off me sometime soon? Or am I going to be the target next, or am I going to die tomorrow? Never thought I'd ask any other questions except those. Until I met you guys. But I dare say something's keeping me alive.
Yeah, and you're not and you're not alone in those feelings. I too am feeling questioning a lot. And yeah, the deception that we were just under, and now hearing of timelines and other realms. Like, this is, to be honest, I feel a little overwhelmed.
Just give him sort of a bit of like a cold but caring kind of stare. At this point, he looks down. You'd have to be crazy not to be overwhelmed or scared. And then he furrows his brow again, looking between both Vincent and Hiroshi. You two flinched. During that first blast of energy, or the wave rather, between after when the cultist did their blast and when this newcomer appeared, you two tensed up. It's as if you knew something about that energy that happened, that transpired. And you told us almost immediately to run. What was that? He looks at the both of them with concern. You could tell as if, like, yeah, like there's certainly something they know about the energy they felt, because don't forget, the clerics were the ones that passed that check earlier as far as the dark energy that happened. As if, like, they have yet to bring something to the party or something, but while he won't exactly force them, like, you can see there's, like, a little bit of curiosity on him. Concerning curiosity.
Far as I could tell, it's rare that something is able to pierce infernal energy like that. And to see those talismans be able to pierce that wall of fire, that dome of fire that was around us, it was unusual for something like that to be able to pass through an infernal barrier like that.
Yeah, it would have to be, for lack of better words, incredibly strong, and I guess you could say light, blessed energy, one or the other, to pierce that level of pitch black darkness of energy. Just it had to have been incredibly strong.
Couldn't have been because of that knoll, was it? Or or that person even working with the cultists at all? Is this something entirely different?
I believe whatever it was that those talismans were, I believe is what summoned Tatsu here to us?
He nods as he takes those words into consideration, looking towards the newcomer, eyeing him up and down. The albino kobold, the white almost similar to like the white fur that he has all over. Hard to tell whose white was brighter than the other. He certainly seemed like rather, I wouldn't say naive or optimistic so much as just impressionable, basically. As if like he's sort of like looking upward and just like all frazzled. Like you could tell there's like a actual sense of innocence on him. In that assassin Harangon's eyes, he could sort of sense that this kobold wasn't exactly a particular threat. And on top of that, up until now, he's never even heard of such. He'd never actually seen a kobold before. He's heard one, maybe two stories passing through streets before, like, oh, dangerous kobolds lurk in the forest and in the woods and everything. I just seen that. Dark. Oh my god, Dark. Hey, remember, Dark, we don't make any nat ones. We make happy little accidents. Oh god. I love how just like even the tense moments we're always making light of the situation, and I fucking love this group. Anyway, but yeah, just like look at the call. He's heard like one or two stories passing through towns, like oh, there are kobolds. Oh, Tatsu's back. Oh my gosh, I'm literally just talking about you just now. Toki / Satoshi / Tatsu.
Welcome
You can
back.
just call him Tatsu for now. Tatsu's
Tatsu,
always
yes.
been the official character.
Yep, no, that's fair. I just had to just do that one off there just now. Just look at the kobold. He's never seen one up until this point. He's heard like, where made that adorable voice? That was cute. He's heard like 2 or 3 stories before passing through towns about how like, oh, these kobolds like they like lurk in forests and all of that, stealing away children and everything like that. That like are always naughty or just like tend to like disobey their parents or some stuff like that, or like those urban legends and stuff. They're very vicious creatures. He's actually seen it for the first time, and he feels completely underwhelmed by this being, especially with the way they're frazzled. So he certainly doesn't see them as a threat at all, but like with him talking so much and bringing up so much lore dump and exposition, and like just that sudden first thing they say to Simon, going, Simon, is that you? How the hell do you even know, Simon? Like he's just thinking that to himself. Again, so many questions, but he's trying to be cautious as like the assassin party member that he is, because he's like, how does he express all these kinds of things? Like, what does he even say? When does he even say it? And how the hell is everyone else feeling right now? Just like with this newcomer, like, do they even trust him? Do they not? What even happened back there? Is Zenkai gonna truly be okay? And he was even thinking as well when he even faltered. That again, you could sense like there was a lot of things going on in his mind, but he doesn't know what to do or what to say or even when to say it. But he is keeping an eye on this frazzled newcomer there.
If it makes a difference, Simon is treating Tatsu with the familiarity that he treats Hiroshi as an example, as in someone he has taken the time to vet, determine if he personally can trust them. If that makes a
Most
difference
kobolds,
to you. So.
especially in Faerun, are kind of simple-minded. Like, I'm not saying all of them, but the stereotype is most are usually like chaotic evil aligned under, or chaotic or lawful evil aligned under Tiamat, just serve Tiamat or whatever dragon they. Tatsu is a little different. He himself doesn't really even know where he was born or where he came from, but he just knows that he was orphaned when he was young. He had eventually found someone on Faerun who was a member of the Monastery of the Yellow Rose. They took him in. He was basically raised and trained there, and eventually awakened to some kind of supernatural link to the spirit realm or the spirit plane. And something happened along the way, I don't know what, but it caused him to get transported to the Domain of Dread, where he was kind of stuck, lost, and wandering there, trying to find his way back home. Shenanigans happened, and now he ended up here as a result. So in a way, Tatsu inadvertently became a planeswalker, but he himself is still trying to figure out what he is. And yes, he is unusually mature for a kobold. Most kobolds are not usually this mature, I'd say.
Right. I mean, it can sort of see that he's like mature, but at the same time, like he's like being flustered with all these questions. Like he's trying. You could certainly tell like he's trying to regain his composure and everything as well. Tatsu like just.
Frazzled.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we just ran
Simon.
from like a big ass. We just ran from a big ass blast. We ran from a big ass blaze, and meanwhile Simon's just blazing it.
Simon's
So,
like,
ultimately,
you didn't believe me. Proof.
well, Holy
For
shit.
Simon, the only
Jazz
difference
hands.
between Tatsu back then and Tatsu post time skip is he does look a little older, a little matured, and a little more cautious than he was before. He was kind of naive. Seems a little more pragmatic, contemplative. One of those two terms.
Yuto blinks just watching. For a moment, Yuto just blinks watching Tatsu try to get their bearings, like still conversing with Simon and those others on the right side there. And he's not sure why, but only slowly and peaceably, he finds himself sort of making his way up just a little bit.
Simon immediately
And I just-
breaks the conversation with Tatsu and looks at Yuto. He goes, yes?
I already, my ears twitch obviously hearing Simon, but then I'm just still looking down at the kobold, because I think the first thing, like, hearing someone like be all frazzled, I think like maybe they're in shock, maybe they're in pain of some sort, and without
He's
thinking
doing
too
the
much
nervous
beyond,
gesture of like standing awkwardly and twiddling his thumbs, like looking a little shaken, but like mostly intact, because he does have a high wisdom score.
out
Oh,
of
sorry, no,
nowhere.
it's high charisma. Sorry.
Oh, high charisma. Okay.
No, actually, no, he
Well,
has both. He has high charisma and high wisdom.
Nice.
Oh, dang, double threat kobold for a little guy. Hell yeah. He's just staring at him for a moment, then quietly asks him, "Are you feeling okay since earlier?"
He didn't notice Yuto's presence coming up from behind him until Simon blurted out. And then after that, which then turns around. Oh, I didn't see you there.
Sorry, it's okay. I'm not. Gently holds up his hand paws. I'm not trying. We're not here to hurt you. You seem like you're in need of help. We just want to know a lot of things, but the first thing is, are you okay? You weren't hurt from earlier, were you?
See Tatsu then take a moment. He closes his eyes slowly, puts his hands flat against his stomach, takes a deep breath in, and slowly puffs it out. Despite how he's matured, he still conducts himself in a very monk-like fashion. Oh. Yeah, I'll be okay for the most part. It's just a lot of events unfolding at once. And a lot of... Sometimes the way you sometimes the way you think you understand how something might go, it can get usurped at any moment. I guess inadvertently I myself have also become known as a planeswalker. And right now my only goal is taking down Sebastian. He was going to originally go on a rampage with Faerun, I believe. And then that eventually led to here, I suppose.
He quietly nods. Yeah, keep on.
I also feel like I can't explain how, but if I follow this path, maybe I'll finally get some answers about myself if I learn from this what this Sebastian figure is like. Because I myself at one point, I don't know how to put it. I kind of feel like a monster myself too. Most kobolds aren't usually born with freaky red looking horns like this. I feel like some kind of demon or something. That's not what I am. But despite that, I can't deny a bit of this abyssal energy within me. It's something I've been trying to figure out for a long time, and I was worried about it at one point. He's referring to House of Lament. But I feel like I've had better control over these powers as time went on, almost to a point where they've been repressed, but I don't know in the future if they might erupt again.
These powers, they come from your talismans that you hold?
It's my own innate gift. It's a link to the supernatural. I can peer into the very spirit plane itself.
Spirit plane? So, you worked at a shrine before then, judging by your attire.
Well, more like I was taken in and raised by a monastery. But I did do work for them in exchange, yes. But despite that, I spent most of my time in their libraries. I wanted to understand more about spiritism and mysticism and what exactly is the creation of a spirit? What does it mean for one to possess a soul? What is judged within a soul's very essence? How do you define its worth?
Well, I don't know about worth, but I can tell you what happens when you don't have one.
What happens?
You go mad. You crave something that you do not have a way to quantify. You get really angry. You want to start tearing people apart.
Do you think that's what's happening with that Sebastian guy?
Oh, no. No. I think he's been turned into a cambion.
Oh.
What?
A cambion. Sort of like a half-fiend.
I would assume since Tatsu's from Faerun, he would know what that is. Oh, I
Yes.
see. Cambion.
Yuto folds his arms. Yuto folds his arms silently. This Sebastian person. He's done more harm to you than you like to admit, hasn't he?
I don't know him directly. I just know that he's threatening the greater planes and beyond. All I want to know is what exactly am I?
After asking that, silently looking up at you up and down for but a moment. He quietly sighs to himself, trying to think of something to say, something obviously appropriate, because as much as Yuto's own mind is frazzled, it's clearly obvious not only everyone else's, but quite certainly even Tatsu's mind is probably going a mile a minute right now, so at the very least he wants to try and say something to like help soothe his emotions even more and everything like that. And then somehow, very uncharacteristic of Yuto, he somehow finds himself saying, "Even I'm not sure what you are. But as far as I'm concerned, you don't seem to want to harm any of us. You don't seem to be what others would call a monster." Then he just randomly looks upward towards the moon, muttering to himself, "Although in our own ways we're both monsters." Gulping silently to himself.
Tatsu turns his gaze as he sees Yuto looking at the moon, puts his hands together, and says a swift, solemn prayer in Abyssal, if anyone knows Abyssal.
Let me see. What are my... Nope, I don't.
I do not either.
No.
I understand Abyssal, but his tone sounds almost gentle and everything. For about a moment, he doesn't understand why, but for about a brief moment, he feels a bit soothed. He feels a bit calm hearing that rather, like, odd language.
It sounds like a bit of an infernal cantation, but Tatsu is a very gentle tone, so it kind of comes off like... Canvas las kunmashvirni. Probably sounds like some weird mix between, like, German and Latin, basically.
Fascinating. After another... And then, I'm just gonna do just a tiny gag here. After another moment of silence, then Yuto just asked another random question. Tatsu being your name there, I assume that's a first name. Your last name wouldn't happen to be Maki, would it?
Tatsumaki Senpuku! Hadouken! Shoryuken!
You beat me to the damn joke. Yes, that's what I was gonna try to do.
Earth plays a lot of fighting games, I should let you know.
Okay, because I know other games. I know other friends of mine and everything. When I try to make fighting game references, it like goes right over their heads. Like, are you kidding me right now? So I was like, what the hell not? I'm like over. Varus, my guy, thank you.
Fine, I'm just gonna add to the fourth wall gag. You then see Tatsu, he kind of like, he's gonna practice some of his martial arts positions. He then says, quarter circle forward, A! And then he puts his hands together and he blasts a little fire ember. Oh, I can still do it. Yay.
Beautiful.
I almost made Tatsu a draconic sorcerer because he really teeters on the line between a spirit bard and a draconic sorcerer. I'm gonna wait and see how his story develops, and if he ends up aligning more with this draconic aspect, then maybe I'll switch him, but if he keeps on the spiritual plane thing, then I'll keep him as a bard. He's a bard for now because it's just the most neutral setting. I'm letting the story and the dice decide how Tatsu develop, and I think that's one of the most fun ways to play a character.
like that approach. Even Yuto, just looking at Tatu, just doing that bit of moment, going back to something semi-serious here, he just folds his arms again and breaks down for about a second, like in a very small smile. His face basically even like among his stress there, for about a moment he feels calm, looking at Tatsu, just trying to, like do a mixture of like fighting stances, but also like blessing himself. And then Yuto's just thinking to himself, this is someone I think we're gonna grow to like. I'm not sure why, but I feel like we can trust him. He's seen his own amount of strife in his life, much like with certain others I know, or like that I like to admit. But again, he's only thinking that to himself.
As Tatsu finishes his prayer, he opens his eyes again and kind of looks around. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I got so lost in my prayer.
Prayer than a curse.
Yeah, it's all right.
Can I do something a little special, Nitro? Since we're out of combat. Tatsu's going to then sit down on the floor, and he's going, because I'm assuming we're like in camp, quote-unquote camp area, right?
Yes, you're in camp.
Okay. Tatsu's going to sit down on the floor. He's going to open his satchel. He's going to take out a very peculiar deck of cards.
Time to duel.
Which, I don't know, if anyone wants to ask about that or make checks or anything, just let me know. But he pulls out a peculiar deck of cards. They don't look like a deck of poker cards or playing cards. They look unique.
And you know what? They look so unique that kind of catches his eye. Yuto is going to begin to wonder, with a history check maybe, or even perception or history, whatever's larger for me, if he's ever seen such a kind of thing before. And while doing that, I think I'm going to take this time to break out the new D20 I have.
Hey.
The scented die. Do a history check. Have I ever seen such card thing there before? The tarot.
Just real quick, make sure you always double check with the DM, because the DM is usually the one that prompts you.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Right,
okay.
My bad. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
DM, may I have permission to use my die for the roll? I can still look at my ability score on my character sheet, and I can apply it to that.
As long as it's in Foundry, I need to see the dice rolls.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like what I would do, like.
He's asking if he can roll like real life dice.
Yeah.
For now, I would say no. Because the way I have my setup is I have pretty much everything focused into Foundry, so I can't see the dice rolls, and I need to be able to see the dice rolls when they happen.
No, that's quite alright.
Let me help out Leo here a second. He would like to do an ability check to discern information about these deck of cards. Like, what are they? If he can discern what a Taroka deck is.
For that, has Yuto ever been around mystics or seers or fortune tellers?
More than likely not. If anything, he probably he's been like hired to take out certain kinds of people, but not necessarily like mystics or seers. More likely other corrupt politicians or royals or like certain other assassin members or certain other guild members and stuff like that. Nothing particularly magic-like.
Then I would probably have to say no. You can try and give me an Arcana check, but you would have to make it at disadvantage.
And obviously the die is going to be for another time, so I will just use the... Dang it. Click the right button, man. Okay, so instead I will just do the history at disadvantage through the sight then, so... Oh no, Arcana, excuse me. Dang it.
Yep.
Disadvantage here, okay.
Wow.
Wouldn't have mattered either way. You have no idea what kind of cars these are.
Now,
Yeah.
I will ask, in my case, because I have some knowledge of playing cards, because that is one of my something I am proficient in. Might I be able to attempt to recognize that?
They look nothing like playing cards you've ever seen, so you have no bloody idea when you see these things. Unless anybody has encountered like a fortune teller or a seer or a mystic who has done fortune readings, you would not be able to recognize what these cards are.
Yeah, no.
Weirdly enough, I
This
feel
is
like the
never
closest
entirely
person who may, in italics, would know who this is would be Azami. But that depends completely on the character. Is Shred here, or are they AFK?
Shred, did you fall asleep?
Huh? No, I'm awake. What's up? I zoned out for a moment.
Basically, Tatsu Icy brings out a Taroka deck, and everyone's kind of trying to discern what it is, but they have no clue what it is. And I was
kind
like,
of deck?
oh, since Taroka deck, it's in the chat log.
It's like a tarot deck, but fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah. Faerun's tarot deck, but I was thinking because oh, Azami's a monk. I was like, you'd probably be the one most likely to sort of discern what this could be, if you wanted to.
I don't know what I would roll. What would that be? Arcana?
Arcana, yes.
She does not know a dang thing about it.
Pain.
Yes, it's a deck of cards. We're gonna play 21 card pickup.
I
May-
doubt that's
may-
those kinds of cards.
May I attempt an Arcana check?
You may.
Simon has memories of seeing cards like this before, so he's just like,
I promise these are not directly from Strahd's mansion.
And since I am proficient in Arcana, may I attempt this normally, or would it also be a disadvantage?
It would be normally. So close to a nat 20. But you recognize these, Hiroshi. These are not playing cards. These are also not toys. These are cards that are used to commune with the spirits and can be dangerous if one managed to offend said spirits.
So I take a look at the cards, and I'm like, huh, a fortune-telling deck of sorts, one to commune with the spirits. I see.
you're cutting in and out real bad there.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Yeah.
because they have their microphone set
Yeah.
in a way and they tend to either turn their head away or lean back.
Yeah. So I take a look at these cards, and I'm like, a fortune-telling deck, one to commune with the spirits. I see.
He nods. Yeah, it's something I specially trained in. It helps me better discern information when I want to commune with the spirit realm. Which reminds me, by the way, I don't think I got any of your names. I just realized I have no idea what you people's names are. So I guess, what are your names?
Since Hiroshi is the closest, since he just examined the cards, he gives a bow to Tatsu. Hiroshi Nakai.
Hiroshi. I'm Tatsu. It's a pleasure. He puts a fist balled over his chest and gives a slight bow.
Pleasure to meet you as well, Tatsu.
And my name is Asap.
Oh. Judging by those robes of yours, I take it that you might have trained under a monastery as well?
Huh? Something of that nature. We'll go with that.
Tatsu believes it. It's a pleasure to know one of akin to monastic teachings, I suppose. Even though I will admit I have strayed from it a little bit in pursuit of my own innate talents. But this still means a lot to me. He looks over to his Lapine friend, or Lapine companion. I didn't quite catch your name as well. What would you be called?
He blinks, realizing all this time he hasn't told him his name. My name is Yuto Yukimaru.
Yuto.
Forgive me for not addressing myself earlier. He does a little polite bow real quick.
He returns the bow. I can't tell why, but you have quite a beautiful name. Whoever named you chose a very elegant one.
He then blushes just briefly and just smiles, slowly looking down and off to the side and everything, not only in thanks but just also in reflection, because there's clearly one that certainly gave him that name, which incidentally means gentle, and unfortunately the one that gave him is certainly no longer at this plane. He does
Yeah.
a very heavy
He-
sigh, but at the same time follows with, "Thank you."
Little double standard faux pas, but he means well. He looks over to the Whiteford companion behind you. I didn't catch your name as well. Who might you be?
Vincent steps forward. Vincent Delacroix, cleric of Lathander, at your service.
Oh, Lathander. I know Lathander because I'm from Faerun. Oh, just hearing that
Vin-
honesty makes me feel more relieved.
Vincent can't help but take a little bit of a step back and just go, wait. Wait, what?
Oh, Lathander?
Was
He's one
I
of the...
supposed to mention that I
Okay.
recognize the name as well?
I'd be more surprised if you didn't recognize it, Simon. He, squints at him, but,
I don't think
peevingly.
Lathander is very popular around here, but I wasn't going to say much.
He's a
Oh.
god from my home realm, and I assume Simon's home realm as well.
Sure.
Well, I come from the Eastlands, and, well, we don't share the same gods with the Western lands here in the world. There are quite similarities, but that's the first I've ever heard of, another even... What'd you put it? Realm or plane? That shares a god that we have here?
Yes.
Deities, the influence of deities can reach across multiple planes. They're not confined to one, in some cases.
Oh, apologies, this is still a lot to take in for me.
For example, with myself, I trained under the Monastery of the Yellow Rose, which also was once housed the Grand Master of Flowers, quite a notable figure back in Faerun. And well, I don't believe I have the liberty to divulge all the secrets of the monastery, but he was quite a notable figure in that time. My point being that the gods and deities around us can manifest in a multitude of different places. They're not just confined to their origin realm or plane of origin. But the fact that you chose to follow Lathander means that you probably have a good soul within you. And that the light follows you wherever you go. Because he quite literally is, I think, the morning star. If I remember correctly.
It's
Morning Lord, I
I
believe.
I mean, it's
Morning Lord,
what
my bad.
I mean, it is what I devote myself to, especially in the want to make sure that people are safe, and if they are injured, that they are treated as soon as possible before anything worse happens.
Seeing Dark's had their mic muted because their software at home now.
And
Wah,
as
wah.
the Tatsu mentioned, and as the two talk, and Vincent mentions he's a cleric of Lathander, Hiroshi takes a moment to realize that he forgot to, mention his calling, and he mentions, and I am a cleric as well, a cleric of Amaterasu.
Tatsu looks a bit puzzled. I don't think he recognizes that deity because it's not native to Faerun.
He doesn't recognize. He doesn't recognize his deity in Faerun, but back where he's from, it is an individual of worship because of the region that he was originated in.
Oh, are you talking about Izari? Or is that
Yes.
something else? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. One of the continents I hail from was known as Izari. It's an island to the far east of Faerun. It's a bit isolated, but It's very similar to this area that I found myself in. They call the Orikasu Shogunate. It reminds me of home a little bit. I've vaguely heard of Amaterasu, but not to a full extent. I know that she's a sun bearer of sorts, I think.
Yes, very, very similar in these lands to Lothander, actually. A sun goddess who is very much about healing, but also cleansing when necessary.
Tatsu takes a look at Vincent, and then looks over at Hiroshi. And then he just says, "So you two are the same, but different."
Oh my god.
You can actually
Inside joke.
see it in kind of their
Same, but different.
Yep. And you can also kind of see it in the different dress that they have, because, like, you know, Vincent is in more of the kind of Western armor, while Hiroshi does have armor, but he is in more of a, almost like a Shinto priest style robe over his armor.
Oh. Took me a moment to realize that your getup is quite similar to myself and Azami's. So you definitely do train under more of the Far East teachings.
Yes.
I definitely believe that you are a clergy of Amaterasu. With the sun and the light following us forward, I could say our future is looking very bright.
And I am Cassandra Sunmane, the Knoll speaks. And we're not.
Tatsu looks up and is wondering how much taller this knoll is compared to him.
Oh, she's quite tall.
How far up does Tatsu go? Like the ankle, the kneecap, the thigh?
She is roughly around this. She is actually a little bit taller than Gorthresh was.
Holy crap.
She is 7'1".
So 4 feet taller than the kobold. Oh no.
Roughly.
Kobolds heights generally are, I believe, between 2 to 3 feet tall. Tatsu's a bit more on the taller side. He's like 2'7", I'll say. So he probably comes up to like her thigh in height. Or her kneecap.
Also, we're not in the Orikaisu Shogunate anymore. We're now on the border leading to my homeland, which is known as the Plains of Narsk.
Oh. Narsk. I have no idea what that is. He said it with like such a genuine tone. Anyway,
So-
I was gonna get back to what Tatsu was doing because he had the Taroka deck spread out, unless anyone wants to do something first.
No, Simon is specifically watching, waiting, biding his time, preparing to interrupt, but only for a specific thing.
Okay. Also, feel free to move your tokens closer to Tatsu if you want, because I might be performing a ritual here in a second, if allowed.
Ooh.
To which, I have a question for you, Varus.
Sure.
Do you remember in Icewind Dale the ritual that Simon did?
Yes.
Is that
I
still,
and
like,
Tatsu both
applicable?
remember that.
Like,
I wasn't
Was
going to
that
do that
redacted?
because that's more like a
no,
blood
I'm
ritual.
asking if that was redacted or not.
Anything that Tatsu experienced with Simon was canon.
Okay.
I'd say anything he experienced with like Varus in that other dimension was non-canon. The stuff with Legato, I'd say was canon because that was all genuine stuff with Icewind Dale. Yeah, so anything that happened in House of Lament with Tatsu is 100% canon,
What,
unless Nitro says otherwise.
I'm asking about the ritual he did in Icewind Dale specifically.
Blood ritual.
Yeah. Where we found out
yeah,
what
I'm saying
Tatsu's
that-
tethered to.
Yeah. Oh, you're right, I see. Well, what I was kind of originally thinking is like it comes off as a fiendish energy at first, but there's also like an innate draconic essence within, which is the original concept of thinking, hence why draconic sorcerer.
I just
But-
want to know if I have the answer to the question that was
Oh.
being asked, that's all.
I guess I'll defer to Nitro because I'm not sure.
In terms of the entity that was originally attached to Tatsu, as far as you both are aware, it is still there and present.
Okay, and it's still the same thing theoretically?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That is still a thing. Yes.
got it. Thank you.
Okay. Tetsu looks at Simon and says, "If you're worried about that, the monks gave me some red binding ropes that are under my robes. So long as I'm wearing them, it keeps that pull repressed.
I am
So I don't need
not
to worry
actually
about that
worried
for-
about anything right now. I am, in fact, quite high.
Read every day.
Insight check. I want to know how high you are.
Hell yeah.
There we
And I'm
go.
gonna guidance this because I can.
I see you casting a spell. I will also cast a spell.
Okay. I didn't do that right in time, so I'll just roll the 1d4. That is a 20, dirty 20.
17. Simon is nowhere near as high as he is pretending to be. He does not actually have weed. He was faking it. It's literally just grass that he's picked up. And is pretending to smoke.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna break concentration,
man.
and then I'm just gonna look at Simon, and instead of going Nosferatu, I'm gonna go Simon.
What?
He squints at you.
Are you high? You're looking a little, narrow-eyed there. Are you having trouble seeing?
You know, if we got a... I don't know if these actually exist in Faerun, but... You know, if we got a blender, we could blend all that grass together and try to make it at least into some tasty green drink for you. It's healthy
Oh.
for you.
I wouldn't drink it.
We could call it a jumbo juice.
No.
Oh.
Hatsu then, he turns back to his cards, which he has assorted on this neat little mat. It's like one of those, actually, no, I'm gonna go a step further. His tent basically looks like a fortune teller, and it has like those neat, like detailed rugs on there. And he's got a bit of a table set up. And obviously, with most fortune tellers, they would normally have some kind of scrying crystal ball glass, but Tatsu uses the Taroka deck instead. That's his magic focus. And this is where I kind of get a little homebrewy. This is up to Nitro, but with everyone's help, and because I can use the Taroka deck as my bardic and spiritual focus, I was wondering if I could do a ritual cast of augury with the deck.
Do you have the augury spell?
No, but I'm starting to think that maybe I should have taken it.
Oh no!
Wait, Bards?
Augury
Hold on.
would help here.
Hold on. Let me see if bards can even learn that. Because if they can, I will take it for thematics. Okay. No! I should have
You're a
taken
hairy
ritual cast.
wizard.
Damn it.
All right, so you can use the Taroka deck. You're gonna ask a yes or no or simple answer question, and I will tell you, and I will have the cards dictate what they respond with.
Okay. Well, what I was thinking is Tatsu could ask one question, and then someone else in the party could maybe also ask one question if they help with the ritual. I'll even expend a bardic die if you want me to.
The way some of these tarot cards deck work is that if you ask multiple questions, you're going to get indirect answers or impossible answers or other negative effects. The
Okay.
fewer questions, the better. Basically.
Would you be willing to let me take the augury spell in place of one of my second level bard spells? Even though I know bards can't normally learn it, I'm kind of surprised it doesn't even get to.
Because you're doing a 1-for-1, I'll allow it.
Okay, 1-for-1. Let me check his spell list. What am I getting rid of? I can get suggestion later. It's a good spell, but I need the other ones more. Alright, I'm gonna swap out suggestion for augury. Because I want divination thematics.
Simon doesn't need to ask a god about anything. He believes he is one, so he just thinks it over himself.
Simon is Simon. I will slap you with the tortilla.
I'll
Good
eat
You know
it.
what I mean?
Bet.
Okay, but why a tortilla though?
These tortillas are delicious.
They are.
Okay. So, we're just totally gonna pretend that totally OC didn't happen. I totally didn't have the augury spell prepared, but now I do. Okay. Now that I have the augury spell in my spell list, I would like to ritual cast augur. If anyone is going to help Tatsu with the ritual, you can go ahead and say so now. I don't know if it would change anything, but I'll let DM decide that.
It will
It's
not
optional.
because it's focusing on the channeler, which is you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simon
Anyway.
is still. Simon is going to come over, but he's still. He's not going to help. He is specifically seeking to intercept if something specific is said. So he's just keeping an eye on
Okay.
Tatsu.
That's fine. Damn, I really should have played a Blade Song Wizard then. It's fine. Alright, ritual cast augury. The question Tatsu is going to ask is... He's thinking back to everything that happened in House Element. His journey making his way here, his encounter with what he saw of Sebastian. And he just asks... Is it possible that I am a dragon? And he casts augury. Oh, that's the question.
The cards that you get is both a negative and a positive card. You get Wheel and Woe.
Yeah. Can Tatsu roll an insight check on that to kind of discern it, or do I not need to do that if I want to just
You can if
decide
you
how he
want.
reacts? Okay. What I'm trying to say is the reaction more of a free choice thing? Or is it more like I should roll for it to determine how insightful the reading is to him?
You would have to take a roll if you wanted to actually focus on it.
I think he's going to do that. He wants to really tap into it. And yes, I'm going to recast guidance again this time.
Mm.
As the results kind of come in, he decides to tap on one of the cards. He lets out an abyssal word, and he's going to insight check. Oh. Insight check. There we go. Oh,
It was almost 11, but it's a 4.
it's okay.
Or as you can tell, you believe the cards are telling the truth. It is giving you both a positive and a negative reading.
I guess I really am a dragon then, or part dragon. Whatever I am, it's draconic in origin. But it seems like it's up to me to decide whether it's a good or a bad power. Strange.
Simon looks a little confused, but does not say anything.
There has been some time skip in between where Tatsu was doing some self-searching, which is why he would have alluded to the word dragon.
I mean, you said it's been, what, like 10 years? For him?
Yeah,
Something like
for him
that?
it felt like 10 years.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's actually true or not. And then, I know it's a bit silly, but would I be allowed to re-ritual cast augury to allow one person in the party to...
I would say you have an equal amount of attempts as to speak with Death Spell, which is 3. You have exhausted 1, so you have 2 more.
And
All
remember, the more you cast augury, there are consequences. It says it right in the spell, I believe.
Okay, then I'll only recast it one more time to be safe. Or actually, he's going to look to everyone and say, is there anything that any of you really want? Tampering with these cards are taboo, but I am professionally trained. If any of you have a question you want to ask to know more about yourself or your destiny, now would be a good time. But I can only give one question.
Yuto
He
keeps
looks-
to himself. Yuto keeps to himself, knowing that he's already had more than enough conversation with Zenkai, knowing, and odds are that Zenkai will probably know maybe one or two extra things, probably like in the future, unless that was all they gave. But for the time being, they already have everything they need to know as far as like what to go over and more after. Like they're trying to go after that particular like JB person and everything. So for this time around, they're just going to keep to themselves and let someone else offer a question.
Tatsu kind of gets the silent affirmation. He looks around to the rest.
He looks around to the others in the tent.
Going once,
May I?
looks over to Hiroshi, puts his hands together, nods, and over the span of the next 10 minutes, he's going to focus with his eyes closed as he re-ritual casts Augury one more time. There it is. Remember, you only get one question, and it has to be answered in the form of yes or no, or maybe.
Character, like I was hoping you go like the style of Alex Trebek, that oh, I'm sorry, that has to be in the form of a question.
He takes a moment to focus on his question as the cards are being prepared. And he concentrates and is like, does my family still live?
So you draw the King of Stars, which is a very positive card.
What does that mean?
Oh, let's see here. The King of Stars. I would definitely say, judging by this, they are most definitely alive, and they are probably doing very well. He then slips the card over to Hiroshi, which you may pick up and hold.
He picks up the card, looks at it, kind of for a moment. They still live. And he just takes a moment and kneels down, on the floor of the tent. And for the first time in a long time,
Click, click,
Party.
clack, clack.
Stop.
Oh,
for the
sorry.
first time, no, it's good. For the first time in a long time, just the rest of the party in the tent just sees him break down, but not in tears of sorrow, but in tears of joy that he finally knows for certain that his family still lives and is out there somewhere. They may not be exactly safe right now, but at least he's gotten confirmation for the first time in a long time that his family still lives.
To draw the King of Stars is like the equivalent of the Star Arcana in the Tarot deck,
Right.
Oh wow.
which is a symbol of hope and faith.
He kind of feels Yuto's paw on his back and nods to him. And he slowly hands the card back to Tatsu. Thank you.
He has a bit of a gentle smile he gives towards you as he takes the card back slowly. He puts it back in his Taroka deck and shuffles them again before putting them in a little pouch, and then the pouch goes into the satchel. Alright, with that, I believe that's as much as I can do for tonight. I believe if I practice this ability more, I might be able to use it a little more often during our downtime. But for now, I suppose this is the most I can provide.
You've provided more than enough, Tatsu.
He nods. Tatsu's tent will remain up for the rest of the night in case anyone decides to ask him for anything. I might ask DM later about overseas stuff, because I do, and I'm starting to really like divination spells, but I don't think Bard is catered for that. I'll figure it out later, don't worry. It's just a mechanics thing, not a thematics thing.
Mhm.
Bard may not be cared for it, but a College of Spirits is.
The weird thing is they don't get access to the divination spells. Like, I'd have to play like a wizard or maybe a sorcerer for that, which sucks.
You get
Anyway,
other abilities
sorry.
that allows you to do that, though.
Yeah, but that one I have to wait till level 6, and it's not really the same as casting, like, augury or divination or scrying. I'll figure it out later, like I said. Not a big deal for now. Then Tetsu says, well, I hope I was able to help. And I think for now, maybe getting some rest might be the best idea for us.
I agree.
Agreed.
With that, Tatsu kind of dims the lights in his fortune tent, and you can see him kind of preparing his bed stay to the side of the tent.
Hiroshi stands and heads to his own tent and sets out his own bedroll, and just as he lays down, he thinks about the news he just received and the fact that somewhere out there his family is still out there, and it just renews that hope in him that he will someday at the end of this quest find the family that was stolen from him.
Simon is going to check in with Vincent. Does Vincent have his own tent set up?
Gamerwolf?
Are you muted?
I think they.
Might be AFK.
Probably.
Oh no.
Did they end up running anywhere? No,
You know what?
They didn't get.
I guess in the meantime, we could all describe what our tents look like, if you want to.
Simon's is basic 2-person tent number 16.
What color
brown, brown on brown,
is it? Oh,
with grass stain splotching.
You motherfuckers are using tents. Guess what I'm using? Cassandra has just got a fucking bedroll, which he's unrolling somewhere.
I mean, makes sense for a knoll.
Asami is in a tree, if there's a tree nearby, relaxing for the night.
You should make a hammock.
Nope.
And Hiroshi's tent is one that one would expect from the more noble class that, still does have to go out on the trail from time to time. So it's not like super ornate, but it's still a bit more ornate than the standard adventurous tent, but it's also been like customized with little talismans and divine mirror ornaments here and there, just as a kind of a symbol to those who might come upon his tent that he is a cleric of Amaterasu and is there to assist where necessary.
Yeah, the only thing Simon's tent says is, I'm poor.
My God. Does it actually say that outside? Like, is there a piece of cardboard with Sharpie that just says, I am poor?
No.
Oh, okay.
But he's thinking of adding one.
I mean, if you create that sign, one of your skeletons is going to carry and hold it in front of the tent.
I mean,
God.
now I'm very tempted.
Do it, do it, do it.
I don't think I have access to cardboard and a Sharpie in game,
It
so
And it would be badly spelled. Poor, please help with the back of the T.
family kidnapped by ninjas need money for karate lessons.
Oh my God.
My word.
That was my YouTube profile picture for years, was a guy holding a sign with that on it.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Gamer, are you back yet?
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to quickly get ready for work.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
okay.
Simon is just gonna go and touch base with Vincent, just gonna go and see, check in with him, see where his tent is.
You see, his tent is just like a modest tent. It's like, kind of one you would see, like, those more on the eastern side of the world. What they have, nothing special, but it's comfortable enough.
Okay. Simon will outside of it.
Vincent was pretty much just sitting down on essentially on the ground, as inside his tent, basically trying to process just about everything that he's actually experienced, even from like back at the farmstead again. Before he then hears the noise, and he steps outside the tent and he sees Simon. Oh, Simon, what is it you need?
You seemed particularly rattled by the revelations of the day, so I was just trying to check in, touch base, see how you're doing. Do you need anything?
Well, as I said before, this is a lot to take in. I mean, I'm just, I initially came over to this part of the world as part of a mission for my kingdom, just to find out what's going on with the shipments, and along with rumors being sent over to the order of possibly dark tidings. And now to see such destruction by some being you called what was it, a human or something?
They were a human at one point. I'm fairly certain they're a Cambion now.
Oh,
I see. Well, wherever they are, the fact that they it appeared that they took all the life out of the land and made trees just appear to just go out of existence is quite alarming.
Yes,
And then to
yes.
find out about the existence of other planes and this term about planeswalkers, it's needless to say, I think it kind of shows I've been not exactly well-rounded in the aspects of the world, if you will.
Well, put it this way. You cannot learn something until you're faced with it, or read about it, but I highly doubt you would have read much about planeswalkers.
No, that never came up in my studies as a cleric of Lathander. Never. The only thing I ever understood was, of course, the fact that of necromancy, and how it's absolutely frowned upon.
About that, just a quick question. Do you believe that all necromancy is evil, per se?
Not necessarily. I do actually share the belief that power depends on the power user.
A knife could be used to stab anybody. It's the hand that wields it that's important.
Agreed, yes.
Wonderful. Do you have any questions before I get out of your fur?
The only questions that come to mind is just to want a better understanding of, I guess, all of this, really. Or at the very least, understand better the whole thing of there being, I guess, other worlds, if you could put it simply.
Not sure how much I can help with that, but they are out there. You never know what kind of being you'll cross paths with.
Too true on that, especially after what we've experienced with that monster.
Yes.
I can only hope that Zenkai didn't suffer any injuries. I mean, he looked all right, but problem is, a brave face can hide a severe wound.
This is very true. Good talk. And he nods and he turns and starts back to his tent.
Okay. Yeah, Vincent blinks a couple times in just slight confusion before he just gives a sigh and a slight smile before he goes back inside his tent.
As a wizard, I have answers should people have questions, but only in the morning.
I guess we should do a head count. I'll say Tuts is probably already asleep at this point. He's gone to bed. Unless someone stops him for a conversation before that.
You hear snoring coming from Cassandra's bedroll.
Okay. If your character's done for the night, you could just say that they went to bed or they're sleeping.
Yeah.
We're just doing a head count.
Yeah, I would say at this point, Vincent would pretty much go to sleep. And be right back. I'm going to switch over to mobile here. Probably won't be able to access Foundry on mobile. I don't think that's possible.
Technically you can, but it's very buggy.
Very buggy.
Alright. Well, like I said, I'll at least be back in for voice.
Okay. Yuto, Hiroshi, Izami.
Yes.
Tommy is playing a flute in the trees.
Ooh.
She's playing My Heart Will Go On.
Oh,
No, that's on the
No.
recorder. That's the me.
No. Occasionally you hear, never gonna give you up. Never
Apparently
gonna-
that got taken, the account for that got taken down off YouTube, from what I understand. I'm not
kidding.
sure. I think you should go
Wow.
check it out.
Oh my
I
goodness.
feel like you're trying to rickroll me.
Why would I do that?
Why would you, Simon?
Look at us
Actually,
on
you
the
know
camera
what?
directly and try and say that again.
I think you should go and
Actually,
check. I saw the post on Tumblr, which is known
How
for
loud
the
are you playing that
veracity
flute?
of its, the integrity of its information.
Fair enough.
How loud is Izami playing that flute actually?
She's playing it low. It's like a melodic thing through the trees. It's not something that's loud.
Okay. Well, I know Tatsu is very sensitive to sound, so if he would hear music before he goes to bed, he might join in on that.
That would sound wholesome.
Okay. I'll just say Tatsu, like he's about to lay down in bed, but then he starts hearing the melodic flute and is almost hypnotized into going to the source of the sound. And there he finds Izami and says, "Oh, I didn't know you could play music too. Would you like a duet?"
She will stop and just stare down from her tree limb before continuing to play without answering for a while.
Tatsu's wisdom tells him that it'd probably be fine. So he pulls out, he has like a little backpack. He pulls out 3 different instruments. He has a flute, a violin, and a shamisen. For those that don't know, a shamisen is basically like a Japanese banjo, more or less.
Like that.
It's a twangy guitar. since he's proficient with all three, he's only going to choose one to play for now, and he's going to go with the shamisen. So, I'll have Tatsu roll performance check to see if he can follow Azami's tune. I don't know how well he'll do, so about to figure that out. No guidance, because this is just thematic.
Nice.
Dirty 20. Oh, wow. Following the chords, there's like a harmonious melody that's starting to play out. But it's a low one and a gentle one. Fun fact, I believe in Ghost of Tsushima, Jin Sakai uses a flute, and in Ghost of Yote, Atsu uses a shamisen.
I believe so, yes. If you sit idle long enough in Ghost of Tsushima, he will pull out the flute and start playing.
That's kind of cool.
That is one of the reasons I did want to play a bard, is I love musical instrument proficiency. Just playing instruments.
I like that idea. Very solid. Yes.
By the way, you can learn... Oh, sorry. You can learn musical instrument proficiency as a class. There's an origin feature that gives you that, which is cool. Welcome back.
Wicked. Yeah, gamer.
But yeah, I'll say before Tatsu goes to bed, he has like a 1 hour light music session with Azami. Then he'll crawl back into bed and sleep.
Like very wholesome. Who hasn't done their tent speak yet?
I think
described their
Hiroshi
tent
and
yet.
Simon I haven't touched base with yet.
Oh,
If they're asleep or not.
Simon and Hiroshi both mentioned what their tents looked like.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
Hiroshi
I'm
is
talking
kind
about
of-
if you're asleep for the night or not. Like, done for
Oh.
the night.
Simon.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
Hiroshi, in his case, he's actually by the fire. He's got his cooking tools out, and he's just kind of, messing around with different ingredients that he's, got in his pack, and other things that he kind of found around the area, just to kind of experiment and see what he can make.
We're thinking.
Simon is divvying up watches to be held between his 3 bodyguards.
Is Yuto still awake?
I was gonna say, it's funny you mentioned about watches and everything, because everyone's talking about all their tents, like the color and shape and size and everything like that. Bear in mind, you guys picked him up before in like a prison encampment before. If he had ever was living on his own and everything like that, he probably would have either had like some makeshift tents he would have had to do before and everything, like having to borrow like some leaves and twigs from woods and everything like that, or just having to live out just in the cold, whatever in general, or he would ever be temporarily employed by anybody and everything like that. And even then, most of the time when he was trying to sleep in their employ, they would often try to come up and kill him and everything. But obviously, that being said, while others would be able to pitch their own tents and everything, he unfortunately does not have that luxury, living in Assassa his whole life and everything. So ultimately, he just simply just looks behind him as he's sort of staring up towards the moon. And with everyone having their own tents, he sort of sighs to himself and then just looks upward, indirectly thinking to take responsibility to act as a sort of night watchman for the evening. His mind's still completely racing from all the events that had transpired, considering also what's going on as far as the newcomer and keeping all their thoughts into consideration, and more questions are coming up in his mind. He has a mixture of fatigue, but also some tension inside of him, because after everything that's gone on, and one thing that's especially prevalent that's going in his mind right now, is that when they were the big confrontation between the cultists and then Zenkai coming in, and even he remembered in his moment of weakness, he was running from that big blast, and even running from this, and trying to consider going back to help Zenkai, and then Hiroshi's words echo in his mind, realized he was right, and then even though he still went forward, he's trying to hide the fact that maybe he should, even though Zenkai ended up seeming all right in the end, obviously just moments earlier, he's thinking maybe he should have come back and helped or something, being assassin, he's supposed to do his job, to try and help clients in the past to the fullest of his extent, but just, I guess you could say he had a sort of cowardice and everything. So ultimately he's sort of inflicting some self-punishment basically by just trying to keep himself awake, even despite all the bit of fatigue that he's got on, because again, mixture fatigue, but also like he's kind of wired by all the confusion and chaos that happened earlier. So he's just trying to keep calm on the outside about it, just like looking up at the moon, just like indirectly taking responsibility to keep watch for the night. But that's only because he doesn't have a tent of his own, so.
Okay. Since Hiroshi's cooking, Nitro, I wonder, do you think... I don't know if a chef's tool rolls be appropriate or not.
Chef's tool rolls?
Or, I forget what it's called. I think it's called cook's utensils.
Yeah,
No, I think that's just an optional thing if Star Skunk wants to.
if
I would assume.
Stark wants me to make a roll for it.
What do you think, Nitro?
Nitro, is your microphone borked again?
Uh-oh.
I know they've been having microphone problems.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I was taking this moment while you all were interacting with each other to use the restroom. I wasn't able to respond. So yes, you can use your cooked utensils if you wish to.
All right, I will make a roll for it. No, that is not the combat encounters button. This is not a combat against cooking.
Combat
Roll initiative.
cooking.
Time to battle the cooking.
Yeah.
Have to deal with a sandwich golem.
That's a sandwich minute.
I eat it.
Sandwich mimic. Earl.
I was deliberate when I said sandwich golem.
Yep. 16.
I mean, hey, arena's got to have started from somewhere. It's like people making sculptures out of blocks of butter. They gotta start somewhere.
Alright, does anybody do anything else tonight?
I greet the stars. Beyond that,
Nope.
If anything comes up, we can always save it for our campsite.
Alright. You all sleep the night away. Yuto, I'm correct in assuming that you are not sleeping tonight?
Well, that's the thing, talking out of character, like, everyone else is able to have a tent, but, like, I had never considered, like, having one of my own, unless that's part of an adventure kit. I probably do want to kind of, like, sleep, but, like, I guess ultimately I'm indirectly taking, like, turn to be, like, a watch in case somebody, like, tries to go after us. So maybe, like, in campsite, like, I could probably, roleplay, like, showing signs that I do have fatigue or something like that, then maybe have some conversation and eventually retire to, something, but I don't know if that's ill-advised, or if I should just simply, like, try to, like, just make do and instead, like, just say that I'm trying to keep watch, but then ultimately I'm just, like, having heavy eyes or something like that, and then just, like, lowering my head as I've, like, got my knees to my chest or something, and I just end up sleeping that way, so I don't know if I should flavor it like that, or...
A long rest usually involves 3 watches that people do, so maybe, like, you want to do all 3 watches, but you're so tired you could probably only do first watch.
People tend to do... people can do watches if they want, though I will say that fatigue is an actual mechanic in the game, where if you go long enough without sleeping, you will have to start making Constitution saving throws, as Simon can attest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, exhaustion points.
Yeah, if you fail,
exhaustion
you
stacks.
start getting levels of exhaustion, and if it gets too high, your character can potentially die.
yeah.
Okay.
But I think I've got a RP
Solution?
way that we can RP solution here.
RP solution? Okay.
So yeah, I guess if everybody's turning in for the night. So
Yeah, I think at this point it's just you 2.
all right. So
Yeah.
basically Hiroshi does go to bed and let Yuto take the first watch. But then
Okay.
about when the second watch would normally start, Hiroshi wakes up, opens the flaps of his tent and realizes that Yuto's still there and nobody's relieved him. And he kind of looks around, not seeing like a bedroll or, a tent for Yuto. So he makes his way over to Yuto, takes some of a bit of the food he made earlier with his cook's utensils. Hands him a plate, and sits next to him and asks him, "So, how are you doing?"
For a moment, it looks like he's just in a trance, and then he just immediately smells the food, and it just sort of like blinks into attention, looks down at the food, and then at Hiroshi, like the handpod that's feeding him, like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't wake you, did I?"
No, it's quite all right. I noticed that you don't have a place of your own, and you don't seem quite as comfortable as Cassandra is with sleeping out in the open. Am I correct in assuming that?
He just sighs to himself and just eyes down at whatever food was made and all that, as certainly like he's not even gonna wait for his stomach to growl, which does ultimately do so. Like, because it's clearly obvious like he does need to have something, but not before obviously silently thanks him, and then before he even takes like the first morsel, he just looks down into it, still talking to Hiroshi. The whole part and parcel with me being an assassin, unfortunately, or self-made assassin. When my mom and my dad were killed, I ended up fleeing, and then after I killed those others that took them down, I just fled. I didn't know what to do. All I could do in the early days, between all my crying and my running, I blended in with the snow. Certainly not the most comfortable back then, and not the most comfortable now, and yet you tend to get used to it. If I ever did have any hospitality before, it would ultimately be because of other clients that would take me in before. But sometimes it would only be a rickety shack of a bed one night, then they pay me and then they leave me. Or they bring to something that seems warm, and they try to kill